Live streaming is on.
So I want to introduce to you Miss Cecilia Huang. She's here from Zhejiang University IPX, which is it's a branch from Zhejiang University that helps companies be promoted to the industry. Cecilia, hi.
Hi. So our company mostly help universities to transfer their technology to the industry. Right now, we are working with more than 50 universities and the research centers here in China to help them to transfer their IPs and technologies to the industry.
So basically, Cecilia and her company IPX does pretty much the same as we do, but they're more focused on local to local scientists to industry. But they also have international experience, and we signed an agreement in 2019 for cooperation. Now, what I'm going to do here, I'm on my phone now, so we're going to start with a tour of the iHub Tech. This is our workspace. This is our office space. Okay, and what our spaces are divided into are the office space for the people, and we have two main spaces. One is for presentations, and two is the showroom. So we're going to start with the presentations space. This is a small museum, we call it, for Mexican. And this is our main conference room. Okay, that's the place where we do all the presentations of the projects. And we also do that to do seminars and boot camps, presentations and meetings with the local government and universities and companies that are interested in our projects. Now, we're going to go to the main part of our space, which is the showroom. Welcome to the iHub Tech showroom. This is a very impressive space we have here. This is where we actually show our projects. Everybody can hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Just I lost you there for a while. Okay, so this is where we have our prototypes, our information about all the projects that we promote. This, for example, here, you can see in this case, is this is an exoskeleton for rehabilitation. This was developed by tech professors and engineers. This has already been accepted here in China. It got a government grant. So we are actually now just waiting for the Mexican the person responsible for the project. It has been a bad year for 2020 was a very bad year because nobody could move actually and come to China. But hopefully this project will start very soon, maybe May or June. We have other projects here with their descriptions, prototypes, where when we can actually bring prototypes, we do bring them. Other times we just, for example, this one is called Remote Labs. This is actually a successful project that we promoted here in China, and this cannot actually be shown as a prototype, but we have this short video that we show people. This was done in 2019 with a local university called Hangzhou Dianzi University. It's working now. And on 2020, we were going to reproduce it. We were going to make 4 more labs. We're still pending to do that. Hopefully, this year this can be taken up again. This is a little view of what we have here. So this space is changing continually because we are bringing more projects. This is another project which is we call it electronic nose, which is interesting. It can be trained to detect special dangerous stuff like explosives or poison. Actually, they have interest in using this for local police forces or firemen and mining people who are working in hazardous conditions. This is another project which has also been approved already. This is called a smart chair. That's a wheelchair that can be controlled with head movements or eye movements. Later, it can also be controlled by brain waves. So the main interest about this project is not the hardware itself, but the AI, which is used to process the signals and to make them clearer. So this has also been approved. It got a government grant. Hopefully, it will also start very soon. So this is our showroom. This is we can call it the heart of our iHub here.
We lost your video, Alfonso. I think we lost the connection with Alfonso. Okay, the idea was to introduce very briefly the hub that the Tec de Monterrey has there. Alfonso, as he explained us, he is the director there, and we signed this agreement resuming the introduction with the exchange tech transfer office, and Cecile is here. So the idea to present this day the call that we recently launched is called Talent Call. Then Alfonso is going to present us very quickly how is the process to apply the agreements and also solve the doubts that you have and questions. I don't know if you are there, Alfonso. In the meantime, if Alfonso is already connected, I'm going to share my screen only to share with you the call. Please let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, Betty.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Let me explain briefly.
Hello, can you see me now?
Okay, Alfonso, we lost you. Let me explain very briefly in 1 minute what is the call, and then you can continue.
Okay.
Okay, we launched the Researchers Talent Call. That this is the new one. We have 3 calls open. One of the calls is the startups call, and the other is the partnership program with universities. This is another call. And this is the call for startups. So in this moment, we have 3 calls open: startups, universities, and the last one is the research talents. So this call invites researchers from Mexico and Latin America to stay and carry out a study in China with research centers or universities. And we promote this talent call, trying to match in with the local and federal support. And we describe in the call, if you read it, one of them is the global expert recruitment. The other that is a national program, but also Zhejiang province has their own global expert recruitment for foreign researchers. Also, Hangzhou has their plan. So there is a lot of one of the opportunities is that we can apply from different supports in the national level, in the provincial level, also in the city level and the district level. Maybe Cecilia and Alfonso can explain in deep that. But with the application that this is online, we have more or less it's 1 month to match to project selections. These betas are reviewed by the University of Zhejiang and also by the government. And the idea is after that, our office has a roadmap or a plan to match with different research centers and begins to the interviews in order to match the interest between the researcher and also between the university. Also, and then this execution plan that the states in China are planning from 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years, depends of the project, depends of the plan. Specifically, we don't have a timeline, but also depends of the researchers, the interest of the research, and also the interest of the research center. So, Alfonso, if you are there, you can continue with the presentation, please.
Yes, I'm here. So you can see my video again? I'm here.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, and so first, as Patty was saying, we promote the projects and the people here. That's two different things. People can be promoted according to their CV, which may result of interest to a local research center, or we can promote the person together with a project. Okay, so that's two separate things. And where do we promote it? There's like two basic ideas. One is the official way, meaning government, and another is private or research institute. Now, we have done so far is government grants, which means that in this way you have to promote a project, and it has to go through an evaluation process here in China. How do they evaluate your project? It has to be of strategic value, number one. What does that mean? It means that it has to belong to one of the topics that China is promoting right now for international cooperation, meaning IT and AI, environmental sciences, food sciences, biotech, medical devices. There's a list of these high priority topics. So if you belong to one of these, your project will be of interest. Second is, how far advanced are you in the project? Do you have a patent? Do you have a company? So all these things are evaluated, and then a grant is given to you. So this is the way we have gotten grants for what I just showed you: the smart chair, the exoskeleton. Another one is a nano. I didn't explain that to you, but a nanotechnology project. So these are government grants. Most of them do require concurrent money. it means that if they give you $1, you have to put another dollar. In this way, you still have the problem of getting that extra money, but we also are working on helping to get that extra money from local investors. That's the government part. The other part is institutes of research and directly companies and VCs. So far, we have not done that with companies and VCs, so I will leave that on for later. Institutes. We have worked with universities, which is how we made the remote lab project, the one I told you is already successful. Institutes are easy to work with because they're very focused on one single area or topic. So in the case of remote labs, we did it with a university which is focused on electronics and engineering. So they liked what they saw in a project. They made a direct agreement, and the professors from Mexico came here for a specific project. That's one way to do it, but it can also be done as Patty was just mentioning. You can come to China for extended periods of time, like 6 months, 1 year, up to 3 years, and you can work on your project, which they were interested in, or in a local project that they are interested in you working there. So there are many ways that you can collaborate. Now, for example, right now we have just signed an agreement with the Aiit, which is an institute for robotics and artificial intelligence. Cecilia, can you please give a brief introduction of Aiit? Cecilia, are you there? Hello? I don't see her. Okay. Anyway, you can still hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to introduce you this. Aiit is a branch of Beijing University, and it's a local research institute that does work in robotics and applied artificial intelligence. So we are starting to collaborate with them. And there's a second one, which is very similar, which is called Zhejiang Lab. Zhejiang Lab is a local institute, which is it has funding from the local government, also from the Alibaba, very big, the e-commerce company, and from Zhejiang University. They also are focused on robotics, AI, sensors, cybersecurity. So these institutes, they work in a very standard way. They look at your CV, and they can be interested, as I was saying, they can be interested in you, in your CV, in your expertise, or they can be interested in you plus the project that you're working on, that you're currently working on. So they can invite you because of either of these two reasons. And what do they offer? I have just received a few hours ago the latest update by Zhejiang Lab. So I'm just going to. It's still not well translated. It was they give it to me in Chinese, but I'm just going to translate for you the main ideas. They do work in sensors, artificial intelligence, smart computing, big data, smart cities, and what they offer for people coming to work with them is periods of 1 to 3 years. They say we give you resources for your project. They don't have a number for that, but that depends on the kind of project. So there's no fixed number for that. But there are numbers for what they offer as financial support. So you can come as a main researcher or as a main researcher plus your team. You can bring your team with you, and they will provide you with um, housing, a salary, and support for everyday expenses like translators, limited transportation. What they don't include, what they usually none of these deals include the transport from Mexico to China. But once you're in China, everything is taken care of. And just to give you an idea, in Zhejiang Lab again, the minimum salary that you will get is 500,000 renminbi a year, which would be around $6,000 a month. $6,000 a month. That's the minimum. It goes up to 4 times that. So it can go up to $20,000 a year, but that's because they have brackets according to how famous you are, if you have international prices or whatever. But the least, the base salary that they offer is $6,000 a month. So which is it's very good. Even here, Hangzhou, it's a bit of an expensive city, but $6,000 is it's a pretty good amount for living. For people that come with family, they also offer extra support. Like, for example, if you come with your child, they will help you find a local school, and they will give an extra support for schooling. So this can give you an idea. Other research centers offer similar. Oh, Cecilia, are you there? She says that she can hear us, but Cecilia, are you there? Can you seem to have your microphone on mute? Hello? Well, it seems she has some technical problems. Anyway, research institutes of this kind offer this kind of support for your projects. And as I was saying, you can come for periods of at least 6 months, and ideally 1 or 2 years, which is what they are basically aiming for. Now, there is a third.
Show that the Artificial Intelligence Institute, they offer also other salaries. Let me share my screen. Sorry. And I would like to invite you, because we are going to sign this agreement. Next Tuesday, no? The Advanced Institute of Information Technology in Peking University. They are looking for researchers in different areas. They are going to present the areas and a short presentation. The kickoff of this memorandum of understanding is next Tuesday. This is a little overview and the areas they have. They have a site in Hangzhou, but also in Peking. And this is that they are the leaders of the different research groups or research centers. So in vision systems, in medical science and research center, in Internet of Things, software and technology and applications, intelligent computing. So, but I would like to show you the salaries they are offered. They are, this is the recruitment plan for 2022. And we are looking for leading talents, also high qualified talents, and postdoctoral researchers talents. So this call is also to identify this isn't specific in artificial intelligence, but this is an example of the agreements we are signing with research centers to identify talent. The idea, the main idea of Tec de Monterrey specifically for the research is to identify also graduate students. Graduate students also can participate in this kind of exchanges for stay 6 months or 1 year, working jointly with the research centers there and also Tec de Monterrey, but also is focused in postdoctoral researchers or professors, SNEIs that want to move to China 1 year, for example, and make a project there. And the idea is explore this internationalization, developing international projects with international research centers. This is another example of the research that we have at this moment. And also, I would like to invite you to the kickoff that will be next next Tuesday, 7 p.m. We are going to introduce very quickly this agreement, and the idea is also to sign this memorandum of understanding and the kickoff of the agreement. Okay. Continue, Alfonso.
So you can get an idea of what the kind of things that the institutes offer. We have these two examples. One is a local institute from the Zhejiang University, from our city. Another one is from, it's an institute which is here in the city, but it belongs to Beijing University. And there are a couple more that we will probably be talking to very soon. But they're all pretty standard. So we have gone through two things. One is the government grants, which are not very big. They are $40,000 to maybe $150,000. You go through an evaluation process, but the problem is you also have to get concurrent money. Number two are what we just saw, the research institutes, which offer much broader support and invite you to come here to China. And there is a third way that we have not yet done, but which the government is asking us to do. That is through local companies. Actually, we had a couple of experiences, but they just didn't, the negotiations didn't go through. With local companies, what does it mean? It means that you go through a process of evaluation in the government, but the government will not give you a grant, but rather they will introduce you to a local company that is interested in this. So the company will hire you for the project. So the local government has recently urged us to promote it in this way. They asked us to give them a list of our professors in Mexico, which we did. We gave them a general list, not very detailed. And from there, they said, okay, these kind of profiles are of interest to us. So then we can start contacting them in Mexico to see if they are interested. But once people in Mexico are interested in this kind of project, the government will say, this Mexican researcher is very, or could be very good for this local company. Yeah, and they will help us do the actual matchmaking. So we are starting on this, and I think this is also a very good option. The government also will support us for all the bureaucratic process. And this is my next topic. How do things actually happen? So the first thing is you apply, right? You apply there in Mexico. You see the call. You apply. You're interested, and you send your CV or your project or both to us. Once the people here in China see what you're about and see and they think that you're a person of interest, so they give up like a pre-approval. And once both parties agree that the guy wants to come from Mexico to China and the local company or university or whatever they want to accept, we go through the bureaucracy. What does that mean? We have to make an invitation so you can get a visa in Mexico. There's a kind of a process for coming to China, and the kind of visa that you will ask for will depend on the project and the length of time that you can come, that you are going to come here. So so far we have had stays which are not very long, 6 months. For this kind of stay, you can come with a business visa, which is renewable. This is the least troublesome way to come. We also did, for a person that was coming for a year, we made the process for a working visa, which is a little bit more troublesome. It takes a few months to get processed. So these are the two kinds of visas that you will expect to get, either a business visa or a working visa. Yeah. What do we do? What we do is we will help you through all that to get the local invitation, the local. It's an extra approval from the local government, which in this times it's important because of the problem for traveling because of COVID. So the government will give us like an extra documentation, so you can go through this process faster in Mexico. Yeah, and once your visa is approved, you come here, and basically once you arrive in China, we take care of you from the moment you get down from the plane. We arrange your transportation. We prepare your housing in collaboration with the local entity who is bringing you here, and we assign somebody from our office to be your liaison for any trouble you may have. Actually, the company or the university or any institution that brings you here, they will also assign their own personnel to you. But on top of that, we give you a contact of our own people here in the office. So you're basically, we take care of you like 24/7. And well, life here in China is actually it's not what you expect. Maybe it's very modern. It's very comfortable. It's very safe. The language barrier can be a problem at times, but it has become really very friendly for foreigners lately. And the people we have brought here have loved it. They want to come back, and it's really a good environment for collaboration between colleagues. So that's what you would expect. I think that the most troublesome part of all this process is actually getting the visa there in Mexico. Patty knows about it because she was following closely the process of one of the guys who came here. He actually got the work visa, but
Yes,
unfortunately,
I would like to say regarding the visas, I would
Yeah.
like to say, I don't know if you can see me, there are more than 20 types of visas. So it's very important, the letter of invitation that you receive in order to identify what kind of visa you are going to apply. And also depends how long you are going to be there, and also if you are going to develop a project or if you are going to get a salary there. So depends depends of the invitation, and also has we have the support here of legal support to advise you about the process. More or less, a business visa is 1 week. You can get the visa in 1 week. It's very easy. We have experience to get this kind of visas, but the work visas is more or less 6 months, more or less, because you need to certify all your titles, PhD titles, and whatever that they ask to be certified by the Secretaría de Relaciones Exteriores, Foreign Minister. ¿Cómo se dice en inglés? Bueno, la Secretaría de Relaciones Exteriores. Y here in
Foreign
Mexico,
Affairs.
yes, you need to certify all your titles, and also the embassy here needs to certify that. So all this process takes some time, but we have some kind of experience, and we can. The idea is we can guide you in this process. At least here in Mexico, if you live in Chile or Argentina, I don't know, but so we need to explore how is the process.
The process is actually a standard bureaucratic process. So I mean, it's not really different from one place to another. It's basically getting the papers that they ask you and certifying them. You certify them locally and you take them to the embassy. So in Mexico, we have a good relation with the embassy. They back in 2019, they promised to help us, make things a little bit more fluent. Here in China, we have all the support of the local government. So for us, there's no problem getting you the invitations and everything else very quickly. Mostly, the time-consuming part of the process will be at Mexico or the country where you reside. So also, when you're coming to work in research centers, you have to sign like a work contract. So that in order to get the work visa. With companies, it can also be it's a work agreement. It's a little bit different from working for an institute, because maybe with a company it can be like a single project thing that you come to work in, and for an institute it's not necessarily for a project, but for a period of time. So these are small nuances, but generally speaking, we get all the paperwork ready for you here, and then you go to the bureaucracy in Mexico to sort it out. And basically that's it. You saw our place here. I told you what we do, how we promote it in two ways: government and institutes. Very
Maybe
soon,
if you have questions for us, the idea is also listen to you. If you have some doubts, Alfonso, Cecilia,
yes.
and we are here.
Yes. So this is what I wanted to tell you. What we do, the two ways that we do it, a little bit about the process, and these for the next part, I want to hear if you have some questions about what you just heard. Hello?
I have a question. Alfonso?
Yes.
In your experience, how many professors have carried out this kind of transfer or stay in the universities?
In universities, we have done once. It was one professor with his team of 3. So there were 4 people coming together. That was in 2019. They came for a little bit less than 6 months. They came in the summer and they went back on December.
Okay. And the work with the company, how is received? Yeah.
They
How
worked for a
many?
university. They worked for a
Okay.
university in a project. So this was a special case, and the negotiation was not really a salary in the same sense that I just talked to you about what they offer. This negotiation was the university wanted a remote lab in their campus. So the professor said, okay, that will be $1,000. That's the cost of the project, including salaries and uh, license and everything. So it was like a project thing that cost $1,000. So the university paid that. The people came here, they finished the project, and they went back. So that is a special kind of collaboration. The one I just mentioned for a Zhejiang lab could be different. In this way, in this thing I just mentioned, that's a monthly salary for a period of time.
Okay. In this case, the visa is for working, for project.
For them, because the period of time was very short. It was only 6 months. So we used a business visa, which is the least problematic. So they just came here. The visa was for 3 months. It can be renewed for an extra 3 months, and that was it.
But
Okay.
the question of the professor is, but if you are going to receive a salary in China, you must to get a work visa. If not, you can receive the salary. So it depends. If you are invited for the Institute of Artificial Intelligence or the Jan Lab, and you are going to receive salary monthly, the invitation letter is not only invitation letter, also is a job contract. So it's
Yes.
a job contract between the researcher and the Yeyan lab. And it's let me say in Spanish, es una obra determinada, es como un contrato de obra determinada para
Limits.
desarrollar is by 1 year, for example, a contract by 1 year between you and directly between you and the university or the company,
Okay.
university or company, and then they need with this contract they subscribe the contract in the foreign affairs, or I don't know, in a governmental institution in China. And with this subscription, you can get here the work visa. You present this subscription, you present this contract, you present all your titles, and you more or less, if you have all this process on time, is 1 week, 2 week. Really, to receive the work visa is very easy, but the problem is not is not the time in the in el consulado. Is all the papers you need to certify, and all these take more or less 3 or 6 months. Depends if you have all the information in order.
Just an extra comment. Right now, because of the COVID crisis, embassies in general, consulates, they have much less work for this kind of thing. So they have extra time to dedicate for this kind of process. So it could be, maybe it could be a little better. This is number one. And number two is that 2020 was horrible for China in the sense that we receive thousands of foreign talents every year. Thousands of people come to China. And in 2020, nobody came. So that's a big problem. And the government, the universities, the research centers are trying to, make up for that. And there's a real need for, for people from abroad to come and collaborate. So it could help us to make matters a little faster.
Yeah, this is my last question about the COVID regulations. How do you see the COVID preventions or regulation of the government and the universities?
Um, COVID, the regulations for coming right now, it's basically you come here and you need to quarantine. Okay, in your home country, you need to make a PCR test, and it has to be negative. So you get into the plane, you come here, and you have to spend 3 weeks in quarantine. They take you to a special hotel. They take care of you. Everything is okay. The problem is that right now nobody's coming because people usually come for 3 weeks to China for business, and that means 3 weeks of quarantine just to come 3 weeks. So people are not doing that. But for you, it's not really a problem because our offer is coming for longer periods of time, 6 months or 1 year. So the quarantine is not really a problem. Right now, one of the problems is the actual logistics, because planes are scarce and they're a little bit more expensive than usual. So you have to, in case that they approve you, you have to look for strange connections, maybe through Europe or through other. It's not the usual way to arrive to China. You cannot come through Japan, for example. It's a little bit complicated. The logistics are being complicated, but as long as if you get here, the only requirement is being in quarantine for 3 weeks.
Okay.
But the idea, we launched this call this year, but in the plan, we are thinking that the stage in China is in 2022, not in this year. So maybe could happen this year, but depends of the interest if they are aligned. But the idea in this first step is receive your CVs, match the interest between the university or the company and the professors, and then all the bureaucratic papers you need to accomplish, the visas and whatever, and the next year maybe it's beginning in 2022. So we hope all the COVID and everything, maybe
covered.
we need to wait, maybe. So, but also this can be accelerated if the interests are aligned. For example, if the research center offers to you a great offer, it depends of you if you want to accept and stay the 3 weeks and in the quarantine.
Okay, thank you so much for the answers.
Any more questions? Well, I think my exposition is so clear. It has no doubts.
Yeah, can I ask a question?
Yes, of course.
Oh, is just 1 minute because I'm driving and I'm going to the campus. So let me. Okay, thank you very much, Alfonso and your colleagues for your presentation. I'm Mustafa from Campus Puebla, and also we have a research center here with the name of actually smart and sustainable logistics. And I have several PhD students that they are working in smart cities, and my main research area is about the AI and especially in a smart city, sustainable logistic or something like that. I was in China, in Beijing, and I'm familiar with the research center, universities, actually, and their businesses. My question is that since I received the email from this cooperation, I was thinking about the area of the cooperation. My question is that I have three different approach or scenarios to give you a proposal. The first is pure theoretical about the AI, for example, extending some AI algorithms or something like that. The second one is giving some managerial approach. I mean, semi-applicable, not fully applicable. To do our approach in smart cities, waste management, or something like that. And the last one is fully applicable. For example, for the using the AI in greenhouses. And also, I think that we can do it in your laboratory in a small scale, actually. What do you suggest? Because I'm going to send you the proposal, actually, as you said, and hopefully come to China with my two of my PhD students. Do you think that with which scenario or approach I write the proposal for you?
I would say number 2 and number 3 because there's a very big interest in applied research. And what you just mentioned now, number 2, which is smart cities or smart management, that's a very big thing here. For smart greenhouses, there's a lot of work being done. I'm not sure how advanced it is or how fierce is the competition, but I think number 2 and number 3, I would lean for number 2, the one you mentioned,
Okay.
applied research for smart management, smart cities. That's a big thing right now.
Okay. Thank you very much. And so we should wait for your announcement, or I can do it directly to you, or
No, you can.
I mean, what is the
You
next step?
can do it directly. You can send your material directly. We want to start evaluating as soon as possible.
Okay. With the email that you sent me before, I will contact to you. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Good. Some more. Any more doubts?
Yes, and also it's very important to apply to the call because for us, this is the process to detect the interest and following the interest in all the process. At this moment, we have received, I think, Carla, correct me, five applications or how many?
Yes, 5 applications.
5 applications. The idea we need, if you are interested to connect, it's very, very important to apply because is our database to connect to you and connect the interest and follow because there is in Tec de Monterrey, there is a team that is here already connected. It's Carla Cárdenas and Graciela. He is the leader of the market intelligence area. And we as a tech need to follow all these applications jointly with the office with Alfonso there. So it's important to apply. And also you are invited to the kickoff meeting with the Artificial Intelligence Research Center next Tuesday, because I think maybe you can know more in depth these projects and maybe if you are interested the idea we are forming specific groups to talk more about the projects or interest of projects between the leaders in China, the research leaders, and also the research leaders in Mexico, put in contact with you, and then you can define the next steps or projects jointly with them.
Yes. Well, I think we are almost on the hour now.
Yes.
I would like to know if anybody has more questions regarding what we just mentioned here. If not, Carla is doing the, as we said, she's coordinating the whole effort. And here in the China office, we are ready to answer any questions that may come up regarding any specific. I give you a lot of generals right now, but if you have some specific things that you want to ask about what kind of projects or this institute or another, we're ready to answer all your doubts.
Excellent, excellent. Well, if there are no more questions, I think I appreciate a lot of your time. Thank you, Alfonso, for all this presentation. Thank you, the team. Thank you, the professors. And please promote this call with your students and also with other researchers.
Well, thank you very much for joining us today. I really hope we can be seeing your CVs, your proposals, your projects very soon. And hopefully you can come to China to collaborate as soon as this year. There's a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of work to be done here. Hopefully I can see you here in person very soon.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, everybody. Have a good Friday. Happy International Books Day.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.